Hi, it's time to check in with you guys and give you the highlights for this week and what you'll be doing with your lab packets. So let's get started. You would have finished probably days 1 through 4 after I gave you your packets last week. You may have only gotten days 1 through 3, but I'm hoping you were able to get things done through day 4. The good news is that for day 5, which most of you will be doing on Monday, there's not much new stuff to do. We kind of designed day 5 to be a catch up day and to get things done that you hadn't quite gotten done during the first part of the week. So if that's the case for you, then finish up what you did not get done for day 4. And if you did get everything done, go ahead and move on ahead. The only thing to watch out for is in math, there is a worksheet to do for math that's just for day 5. But if you've already finished your final draft in your writing paragraph and you finished annotating and doing everything with your stories in your benchmark reader, then you can go ahead and move on. So for the next page of your packet, you will see that there are 5 days. But since we're coming on Friday to turn in our work packets, and hopefully you're dropping off your work so I can see what you're doing, that will probably mean that you don't get day 5 on this page finished. And that's okay. You may not quite get everything done on day 4 either, and that's all right too. I'm going to point out a couple things I'm hoping you'll be able to get done, and you just try your best to get as much of it done. If you don't get everything done, it's okay. I want you to turn in what you are able to get done, and what I see finished, I want to see good quality work. I'm looking more at quality guys than getting a bunch of stuff done fast and it's crummy. Okay. So I'm going to give you a list of things I want to see done, but I want you to know if you don't get everything done, it's okay. I want to see that you are doing the best on the stuff you are giving me. Okay. I want to make sure we're not getting stressed out about any of those things. So let me go ahead and show you some little highlights. As a reminder, you are probably watching this video on my YouTube channel. Hopefully you've clicked subscribe to this channel so that you'll get notifications when my videos are uploaded, just as another reminder. But down below, you will also see Mr. LaBelle's channel, the reminder for his channel. And to search for him, you want to type Joshua LaBelle, and you're looking for the picture of that bear scratching his head. That's Mr. LaBelle's channel here at our school. And you're going to want it this week because in science, I made a video how we're learning about forces and how things move. Well, you're going to watch a video to help you fill out one of your worksheets in your packet. It'll be way easier to do that worksheet if you do the video with me and we do it together. So I really recommend you finding Mr. LaBelle's YouTube channel and clicking subscribe to that one. Okay. Now, in reading for this week, you would have already done the story Lemonade for Sale. Now, that was done at the beginning of your first week of your packet. Now, in there, it talked about using the race strategy to answer your questions, and there wasn't a ton of room. So, and some of you haven't even really done race because your intervention group didn't work on that. If that's you, don't worry about it. Answer the question the best that you can. Or if you would like to push yourself and learn something new, I only want you to work on the R part of race, which is restate the question. And I have that written down here in this box. Restate is the same thing as looking for key words in the question. And then we use those keywords in our answer to help it sound a lot more intelligent and clear as to what you're showing me in your answer. And I gave you an example for the very first question. The first question in that Lemonade for Sale says, what is one trait that the main characters of the story share? Now, I thought some of the key words in that question were one trait, main characters, and share. So I wanted to use those words in my answer. And my answer began this way. One trait that the main characters share is, and then I would put my answer. So that's what you could do for all of those questions with Lemonade for Sale if you wanted. If you were able to go to the next chunk of that week and get the story and benchmark also done, fantastic. But what I wanted to talk about next is the new benchmark story for this week. And if you need to skip and move ahead to this story, that's fine. The story for this week is called Lazy Harry. Now, it's in your benchmark reader, the one that has a picture of the man in the grocery store holding that food. And the way that your lesson plan is written, we broke up the story to be read in over 2 days in 2 parts. And for each day, for each part, I want you to be annotating and underlining key details. Now, you're going to need those details when you work on page 21 in that benchmark reader. It looks like this. Let's give it a second to load. It looks like this page on page 21. Now, you only need to do the build knowledge section, and that is basically all of these big empty boxes. You don't need to do down here where it says reflect, and you don't need to do any of this stuff down here. Just this section right here. Now, in these 5 empty boxes, you're going to retell the story to me in 5 chunks. That's where your annotations are going to be helpful. Go back and look at what you underlined, and you need to find the 5 most important things that happened in the story. This first one should be what happened at the beginning of the story. That should be the first box. And then your last box should be what happened at the end of the story. The middle one should be what happened in the middle. So if your first box isn't telling me about an event that happened at the beginning of the story, you're probably starting too late. So watch out for that. But I also want to talk about this word right here, economic, that I circled in yellow. Now, the question is, what did you learn about economic choices from this story? And maybe you don't know what the word economic means. So I looked it up. And some synonyms, words that mean the same as economic, are down here in yellow: profitable or helpful. You see, this guy named Larry in your story is pretty lazy, and he needs to make some choices to make his job easier for him. He wants to make his job more profitable, easier, helpful to him. So he made some choices. His wife does the same thing, and she makes some choices too. So what this question is asking you on page 21 is, what did you learn about their choices? Did the choices that they make teach you something about how you might handle a job in the future? Did you think their choices were good choices? Were they poor choices? Were they maybe not thought through that much? Those are the things I want you to talk to me about in that answer. It doesn't need to be very long, maybe 1 or 2 sentences long, but I want it to be about you thinking about their choices and were they good choices or not. In writing, you should have been working on last week an opinion paragraph, and a lot of people that I was talking to said that it was pretty easy and they got it done really fast. I'm kind of worried about that because I want to make sure your paragraph is a good paragraph. Here's some tips that I really want you to go through. Even if you think your paragraph's done, please go through your paragraph today and see if it matches these things. Number 1, is your paragraph 6 to 9 sentences long? That means I should see anywhere from 6 to 9 periods or exclamation marks or question marks or something in that paragraph. If you can't find 6 to 9 periods, you don't have 6 to 9 sentences. If you don't, it might be because of the second bullet here. Maybe you didn't use all the colors in a paragraph. Did you put greens? Did you put some yellows? Do you have reds to match those yellows to explain them even more? Did you put a green conclusion at the end? That's what an opinion paragraph should have. Green, yellow, yellow, yellow with a yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, and then another green at the bottom. Did you do all that? Did you check for punctuation? Did you check for capital letters? Did you fix all the words that you know are spelled wrong? Did you write neatly? If you answered no to any of these questions, I need you to rewrite it again. I want to make sure that you still remember how to write a paragraph. That does not mean I want your parents to sit there and make all your corrections fixed. It's your job. And then I'm going to look at your paper and see, what are you remembering to do? What are your successes? And then what are your mistakes that you're still making? And how can we learn from that? Okay. Now, your new assignment for this week, there's lots of things to do, but I'm going to narrow it down to just my top 3 for what I want you to turn in to me on Friday. If you get more than that done, fantastic. Give it to me. If all you can get done to these 3 extra worksheets, that's okay too. They are pages 26, 33, and 39 in Kids Learn. You might think they look pretty simple, and they might be, but still go slow and make sure that they're right. Parents can correct it in the back of the book When you're done, they can circle the things you might have gotten wrong, and then I want you to go back and fix those things. In math, I think all of you have been saying math has been going really easy and well so far, and that's great. Keep going on math. I think you'll be able to get everything done except maybe that last worksheet in the math packet that we stapled. If you don't get that one done, that's fine. Try to get everything else done. If not, just turn in what is done. Anything that you do in your Kids Learn workbook, remember, parents can correct it in the back of your book, circle what's wrong, and then you need to fix it. Remember, it's okay if you make mistakes. I'm not going to be mad if I see a bunch of mistakes. What I will be excited about is when I see that you've taken some successes from what we've done this year in class with some mistakes that maybe you made, and you put that together and have some learning at home happen. I know that you guys can do that. You're fantastic at showing your mistakes and then fixing them to learn something new. Don't lose that. In social studies, you've been learning about California heroes. I would like to see on Friday that T chart that you made with the I notice and the I wonder observations before you read it. You do not need to turn your newspaper in to me because you're going to need it for the next week. Hang on to that newspaper. Do not turn it in. But I would like to see, what is your answer for this question here? That what are these heroes known for? I think your answer should be at least 3 sentences long. And those things that you underlined as key details about each person, you're going to use that information to give me the answer to this question. So if your answer is not very strong, it might make me wonder, did you read the article and annotate and underline things? Make sure your details are really good and make sure that you write neatly. Finally, for science, you should have worked on your vocabulary worksheet last week, learning some new vocabulary words, maybe watching a Brain Pop video. If you did not have the article from the benchmark reader that it talked about, that probably meant you did not pick up the very, very first packet we gave several weeks ago. If you don't have that packet, I brought home extra benchmark readers from that assignment, and I can mail you the one article that you need out of it. I've mailed it to 2 people already. I have more. Let me know and I will mail that to you. It'll make things much easier when you're trying to work on your vocabulary. Now, the vocabulary sheet, you do not need to turn in to me on Friday because you might need to remember what those words mean. And then a new assignment for this week is this worksheet called Force Arrows. That's what you'll need the YouTube video on Mr. LaBelle's channel for. I'm going to actually do that worksheet with you in the video. So watch it and let's do it together. It'll make the next activity, the marble investigation, so much more fun because you'll know what you're supposed to be drawing on all the pictures. Now, the force arrow worksheet, you can turn that in to me on Friday, but if you want to keep that also to remind yourself what the force arrows mean, it might be a good idea. The only thing I need you to turn in to me on Friday is your marble investigation worksheet. It's a couple pages long, it's stapled, and if you don't have a marble, I have in your lesson plans that you can find any small ball. It could be one of those rubber bouncy balls, it could be a ping pong, maybe a bead off of a necklace or a bracelet that somebody has at home that's old and you don't need it anymore. Something small that rolls that you would be able to move if you blew through a straw. That's really all that you need. So hopefully you'll have some fun with the marble investigation. I just finished making one about soccer that you're going to get in your brand new packet. So we're going to think about forces with soccer. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. So remember that this Friday, April 24th, is when you're going to turn in your work to me at Pleasant School. I will be there from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to collect your work and give you your next one. There's a picture of Patrick here that I'm kind of covering up from SpongeBob SquarePants, but he's saying that I can't wait to see you, and it's true. I can't wait to see you. I love that you're making me proud every day with all the things that you are doing at home. I love that your parents are pleased with the work that you've been doing this week. Keep it up, guys. It's going to make 4th grade so much easier, and your teachers will be able to see what amazing people I already know that you are. I love you and I miss you. If you have questions this week, let me know when I give you a call, and maybe I'll even see you on the Zoom meeting on Friday. I miss you. Have a great week.